Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another English learning podcast. We're so happy you're here today. Whether you're listening at home, on the bus, or while taking a walk, thank you for spending your time with us.
Hi, everyone. I'm really excited about today's episode because we're talking about something almost everyone does, going to a restaurant. And honestly, ordering food in English can feel a little stressful.
You're absolutely right. Many English learners know the names of different foods, but when it's time to actually speak with someone, they suddenly forget everything.
That has definitely happened to me. I start thinking, what should I say first? Is this polite? Am I using the right words? Then I get nervous.
And that's completely normal. The good news is that restaurant English is actually very predictable. Native speakers often use the same polite expressions again and again.
Really? So I don't need to memorize hundreds of complicated sentences?
Not at all. In today's episode, we'll help you communicate naturally using simple, practical English that you can use almost anywhere.
That sounds much easier already.
Throughout this lesson, you'll hear realistic conversations, discover useful expressions in context, learn common mistakes to avoid, and practice speaking with us.
And remember, we're not studying English like we're in a classroom. We're simply having a friendly conversation, and you'll naturally improve your listening and speaking skills along the way.
Exactly. So just relax, enjoy the conversation, and don't worry if you don't understand every single word. Try to understand the overall meaning first. Your confidence will grow with practice.
Before we jump into our first restaurant situation, can I ask you something?
Of course.
What's the first thing people usually say after they sit down in a restaurant?
That's a great question. Many learners think they need to say something immediately, but in most restaurants, someone will come over and ask if you're ready to order or if you'd like something to drink first.
So I don't have to panic and start speaking the moment I sit down?
Definitely not. You have time to look at the menu, think about what you'd like, and speak when you're ready.
That already makes me feel much more confident.
Here's another helpful tip. Instead of worrying about speaking perfectly, focus on being polite and clear. Native speakers appreciate polite communication much more than perfect grammar.
I like that advice. Sometimes I spend so much time trying to make a perfect sentence that I forget to actually enjoy the conversation.
Exactly. Communication is the goal, not perfection.
If you're listening with us right now, here's a quick speaking challenge. Imagine you're sitting in your favorite restaurant. What would you like to eat today?
Pause for a moment and answer out loud in English. Even a simple sentence is excellent practice.
Maybe you said, "I'd like a cheeseburger," or "I'd like some pasta, please."
Wonderful. That's already a natural beginning.
I'm looking forward to learning more expressions today.
Me too. In the next part, we'll walk into a restaurant together and begin our very first realistic conversation. You'll hear simple, natural English that you can start using right away.
Stay with us. Our first restaurant conversation is coming up next.
All right, let's imagine we've just arrived at a cozy restaurant. We've found a table, we've looked at the menu for a few minutes, and now we're ready to order.
Okay, I'm ready. But I always wonder, what's a polite way to begin?
One of the most common expressions is "I'd like." It's simple, polite, and very natural.
So instead of saying, "I want a pizza," I can say, "I'd like a pizza, please."
Exactly. Both sentences are understandable, but I'd like sounds much more polite and is used very often in restaurants.
That's easy to remember.
Let's try a short conversation.
Sounds good.
Imagine someone asks what you'd like to eat.
I'd like a grilled chicken sandwich, please.
Great. Now imagine they ask what you'd like to drink.
I'd like an orange juice, please.
Perfect. Notice how you used the same expression twice? Native speakers do this all the time because it's natural and polite.
I always thought I needed different expressions every time.
Not at all. Repeating useful expressions naturally is exactly how fluent speakers communicate.
That's good news.
Now, let's learn another very useful question.
I'm listening.
Suppose you're looking at the menu, but you can't decide what to eat. You can ask, "What do you recommend?"
That's a useful question.
It certainly is. It simply means you're asking for someone's suggestion.
Let me try.
Go ahead.
I'm not sure what to order. What do you recommend?
Excellent. That sounds completely natural.
And if someone recommends a dish, I can reply, "That sounds delicious. I'd like to try that."
Wonderful. That's exactly how many native speakers respond.
I think I'd end up ordering whatever they recommend because it sounds easier than making a decision.
You're not the only one. Many people do exactly that.
Sometimes I also worry because I don't understand every item on the menu.
That's very common. In that situation, don't guess. Simply ask, "Could you explain this dish?"
That's much better than pretending I understand.
Absolutely. Asking questions shows confidence, not weakness.
Let me practice.
Go ahead.
Excuse me, could you explain this dish?
Excellent. That's polite, clear, and easy to understand.
What if I have a food allergy or I don't eat certain foods?
Great question. You can simply say, "Does this contain nuts?" or "I'm allergic to peanuts." These are short but very important sentences.
I like how practical these expressions are.
That's our goal. Instead of memorizing difficult grammar, you're learning sentences that people actually use.
I'm already noticing something interesting.
What's that?
Most restaurant conversations are actually made up of short, simple sentences, not long, complicated ones.
Exactly. That's one of the biggest secrets to speaking confidently. Clear, simple English works extremely well.
Let's give our listeners another speaking challenge.
Great idea.
Pause this episode for a moment and answer these two questions aloud. What would you like to eat? What would you like to drink? Try to answer using "I'd like."
For example, "I'd like a bowl of tomato soup and a glass of lemonade, please."
Or, "I'd like a cheeseburger with French fries and an iced tea."
Excellent. The more you say these sentences aloud, the more natural they'll become.
I'm starting to feel much more comfortable ordering food in English already.
And we're just getting started. In the next learning block, we'll explore how to ask about menu items, request changes to your meal politely, and handle situations when you're not sure what to order.
Don't go anywhere. We've got more real-life restaurant conversations coming up next.
Welcome back. So far, we've learned how to use "I'd like" to order politely and "What do you recommend" when we need help choosing a meal.
And I already feel much more confident. But
I still have one problem.
What's that?
Sometimes I see something on the menu that looks interesting, but I don't know what's in it.
That's a very common situation. Instead of guessing, simply ask, "What's in this?" It's short, natural, and polite.
So I could point to a dish and say, "What's in this?"
Exactly. Or if you want to sound a little more specific, you can ask, "What ingredients does it have?"
Let me try both.
Go ahead.
What's in this? What ingredients does it have?
Excellent. Both questions are used every day in restaurants.
Here's another question. What if I don't eat spicy food?
That's easy to explain. You can say, "Is it spicy?" If you don't like spicy food, you can also say, "I'd like something that's not too spicy."
I like that expression.
Let's practice it in a conversation.
Sounds good.
Imagine you're choosing between two dishes.
This looks delicious. Is it spicy?
Let's imagine someone says, "Yes, it's a little spicy." What would you say?
I'd like something that's not too spicy.
Perfect. That's clear, polite, and completely natural.
I think I'd use that sentence quite often.
Many people do.
What if I don't like onions or mushrooms?
Great question. You can politely ask, "Could I have it without onions, please?" Or, "Could you leave out the mushrooms?"
So I'm asking if they can prepare the meal without that ingredient.
Exactly. Let's practice.
I'd like the chicken pasta, but could I have it without onions, please?
Excellent. That sounds very natural.
What if I want extra cheese?
Natural. Then you can simply say, "Could I have extra cheese, please?"
That's easy.
Notice something interesting?
What?
We've used "could I have" several times already. It's one of the most useful expressions in English because you can use it almost anywhere.
Really?
Absolutely. For example, "Could I have a glass of water?" "Could I have another napkin?" "Could I have the dessert menu?" "Could I have extra sauce?" The sentence changes, but the pattern stays the same.
Really? That's much easier than learning a completely different sentence every time.
Exactly. Learning patterns helps you speak more naturally.
Sometimes I hear people say, "Can I have?" Is that okay?
Yes, it is. "Can I have" is very common in everyday conversation. However, "could I have" sounds a little more polite, especially in restaurants.
So both are correct, but one is slightly more formal.
That's right.
I have another question.
Go ahead.
What if I need more time to decide?
That's another useful situation. You can simply say, "Could I have a few more minutes, please?"
Oh, I like that. Let me practice. Could I have a few more minutes, please?
Perfect. Nobody expects you to choose immediately.
That's reassuring, because I always spend too much time reading the menu.
You're definitely not alone. Sometimes there are so many delicious choices that it's hard to decide.
Especially when I'm hungry.
Exactly. Now, let's review the expressions we've learned so far.
Ready.
Repeat after us if you can. I'd like.
I'd like...
What do you recommend?
What do you recommend?
What's in this?
What's in this?
Is it spicy?
Is it spicy?
Could I have it without onions, please?
Could I have it without onions, please?
Could I have extra cheese, please?
Could I have extra cheese, please?
Could I have a few more minutes, please?
Could I have a few more minutes, please?
Fantastic. If you can comfortably use these few expressions, you'll already be able to handle many restaurant situations with confidence.
And in our next learning block, we'll move beyond ordering. We'll practice what happens during the meal, asking for more water, requesting another drink, fixing small problems politely, and using the kind of English you'll hear in real restaurants every day.
Stay with us. The conversation is about to become even more realistic. Welcome back. You've already learned how to order your food confidently. But what happens after you've placed your order?
Day. That's something I've always wondered. Sometimes I need another drink or more water, but I'm not sure how to ask politely.
Don't worry. The expressions are simple and very practical. Let's imagine our food has arrived and we're enjoying our meal.
Everything smells amazing.
It certainly does. Now, after eating for a few minutes, you notice your glass is empty. What could you say?
Maybe, could I have some more water, please?
Perfect. That's one of the most common requests in a restaurant.
And if I want another soft drink?
You can simply say, "Could I have another lemonade, please?" Or, "I'd like another cup of coffee, please."
I like that. It's easy because we're using expressions we've already learned.
Exactly. English becomes much easier when you build on familiar sentence patterns.
What if I accidentally drop my fork?
That happens more often than you think. You can politely say, "Could I have another fork, please?"
That's simple.
The same pattern works for almost anything.
Really?
Absolutely. Listen to these examples.
Okay.
Could I have another spoon, please? Could I have another napkin, please? Could I have some ketchup, please? Could I have some extra sauce, please?
They're all almost the same sentence.
Exactly. Once you know the pattern, you only change the final word.
That makes speaking much less stressful.
It certainly does. Now, let's imagine another situation. You've taken your first bite, but the food is much hotter than you expected.
I've done that before.
Me too. Instead of complaining, you might simply say, "Wow, that's really hot."
Or, I need to let it cool down.
Excellent. Those are natural reactions you'll hear every day.
Sometimes the food is so delicious that I want to compliment it.
That's a wonderful habit. You can say, "This is delicious," or "The food is excellent," or simply, "I really like this."
Those are nice, positive expressions.
Native speakers often compliment good food. It's a friendly and natural part of conversation.
Here's another question. What if something isn't quite right with my meal?
Good question. First, remember to stay polite. Instead of sounding angry, you can calmly explain the situation. For example, "Excuse me, I think there's a small mistake with my order."
That sounds much kinder than saying, "You gave me the wrong food."
Exactly. Being polite usually makes conversations much smoother.
Let's practice.
Go ahead.
Excuse me, I think there's a small mistake with my order.
Excellent. Now, imagine you ordered chicken, but you received beef. What could you say?
I ordered the chicken.
Perfect. Short, clear, respectful.
I don't need a long explanation.
Not at all. Simple English often works best.
I think many learners believe they need advanced vocabulary to communicate.
That's one of the biggest myths about learning English. Native speakers usually choose simple words in everyday conversations. Clear communication is far more important than using difficult vocabulary.
That's encouraging.
Here's a quick pronunciation tip. Listen carefully to this sentence. Could I have another glass of water, please? Don't rush it. Say it smoothly. Let's try together.
Could I have another glass of water, please?
Excellent. Now you try it aloud. Great job.
Every time we repeat these expressions, they feel more natural.
Job. Exactly. Repetition with real situations is one of the fastest ways to build confidence.
Natural. I'm noticing that I'm thinking less about grammar and more about communicating.
That's exactly what we want. Because when you're sitting in a real restaurant, you won't have time to think about grammar rules. You'll simply want to express yourself naturally.
And these sentence patterns really help with that.
Absolutely. In our next learning block, we'll explore another important part of the restaurant experience: asking for the bill, paying politely, tipping in different countries, and handling the final conversation before leaving the restaurant.
Stay with us. You're building real-world English that you can use the very next time you dine out.
Welcome back! You've enjoyed your meal, had a great conversation, and now it's almost time to leave the restaurant.
I think this is the part where many English learners get nervous again.
That's true. But just like ordering food, paying the bill is actually very simple.
Great! So, what's the most natural way to ask for the bill?
Simple. One of the most common expressions is, "Could I have the bill, please?" It's polite, clear, and used every day.
Let me try. Could I have the bill, please?
Perfect.
I've also heard people say, could we get the bill, please? Is that correct?
Yes, that's very common when you're dining with someone else. If you're eating alone, you might say, "Could I have the bill, please?" If you're with a friend or family member, "Could we get the bill, please?" sounds very natural.
That's easy to remember.
Now, imagine the bill arrives. You look at it and everything is correct. What's next?
I guess I need to say how I'd like to pay.
Exactly. You can say, "I'd like to pay by card," or "I'll pay in cash." Both expressions are very common.
Let me practice. I'd like to pay by card. I'll pay in cash.
Excellent pronunciation.
What if two friends want to pay separately?
Good question. You can ask, "Could we pay separately?" Or if one person wants to pay for everyone, they might say, "I'll pay for both of us."
I hear that expression in movies sometimes.
Yes, it's a very natural expression. For example, "I'll pay this time." Or, "This meal is on me."
Wait, what does "this meal is on me" mean?
Great question. It doesn't mean the meal is literally on someone. It's an expression that means, "I'll pay for your meal."
That's a useful phrase.
It certainly is. Imagine your friend reaches for their wallet. You smile and say, "Don't worry, this meal is on me."
That's a kind gesture.
It is. You'll hear native speakers use this expression quite often.
Here's something I've always wondered about. Do people always leave a tip?
That's a great cultural question. The answer depends on the country. In some countries, tipping is expected. In others, it's optional. And in some places, a service charge is already included in the bill.
So it's a good idea to learn the local custom before traveling.
Exactly. Knowing local customs can make your restaurant experience much more comfortable.
I like learning these little cultural tips. They make conversations feel more real.
That's our goal, to prepare you for real-life situations, not just textbook examples.
Sometimes people also say, keep the change. What does that mean?
Good question. Imagine your bill is $18. You give $20 in cash. Instead of waiting for the $2 back, you say, keep the change. It means the other person can keep the remaining money.
That's another expression I hear in movies.
Exactly. It's simple and natural.
Let's practice a complete ending to a restaurant visit.
Great idea. Imagine you finished your meal. What would you say?
Excuse me, could we get the bill, please?
Perfect. The bill arrives. What next?
I'd like to pay by card.
Excellent. After paying?
Thank you. Everything was delicious.
Wonderful. That's a friendly and natural way to end the meal.
I noticed something interesting today. We've learned many useful expressions, but none of them are difficult.
That's exactly the point. Real-life English is often built from simple words used politely and confidently.
I feel much more prepared for my next restaurant visit.
And that's fantastic to hear. In our next learning block, we'll look at some of the most common mistakes English learners make in restaurants, learn how to correct them naturally, and practice sounding even more like a confident English speaker.
Don't miss it. Those small corrections can make a big difference in how natural your English sounds.
Welcome back. We've covered a lot so far. Ordering food, asking questions, requesting changes, and paying the bill.
I already feel much more confident. But I'm curious, what are some common mistakes English learners make in restaurants?
That's an excellent question. Don't worry, these mistakes are very common, and they're easy to fix.
Great, let's learn them.
Here's the first one. Some learners say, I want a pizza.
Is that wrong?
It's not grammatically wrong. People will understand you. But in a restaurant, it can sound a little direct. A more polite and natural choice is, I'd like a pizza, please.
So instead of saying, I want, I should try, I'd like?
Exactly. It sounds friendlier and more polite.
That's an easy improvement.
Here's another common mistake. Some learners ask, give me water.
That sounds a little too direct.
Exactly. Instead, say, could I have some water, please? Or, may I have some water, please?
I like could I have because we've practiced it several times already.
That's why repetition is so helpful. The more you hear a useful expression, the more naturally it comes to you.
What's another mistake?
Sometimes learners forget to say please and thank you. For example, I'd like a coffee. That's okay. But I'd like a coffee, please sounds warmer and more polite.
Such a small word makes a big difference.
It really does. And after receiving your food, simply saying thank you helps create a friendly conversation.
I have another question. Sometimes I hear people say, can I get? Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. For example, can I get a cheeseburger? Is very common in casual American English. However, could I have and I'd like are more universal and work well in many English-speaking countries.
So if I'm not sure, I can safely use those expressions.
Exactly.
Here's something I've always wondered. Should I say the menu or a menu?
Good question. If you don't have one yet, you can politely ask, could I have a menu, please? If you're talking about the menu already on your table, you can say, The menu looks great.
That makes sense.
Let's practice a few corrections together. I'll say the first sentence. You make it sound more natural. Ready?
Ready.
Ready? I want coffee.
I'd like a coffee, please.
Excellent. Give me the bill.
Please. Could I have the bill, please?
Perfect. More water.
Could I have some more water, please?
Wonderful. I don't want onions.
Could I have it without onions, please?
Outstanding. You're sounding much more natural already.
I noticed something interesting. The sentences aren't becoming longer. They're becoming more polite.
Exactly. Speaking naturally isn't about using difficult vocabulary. It's about choosing expressions that fit the situation.
Sometimes I worry about making grammar mistakes.
Let me tell you something important. Native speakers make small mistakes sometimes too. The goal is communication. If you're polite, friendly, and understandable, most people won't even notice tiny grammar mistakes.
That's really encouraging. I think many learners are afraid of making mistakes.
And that's completely normal. But remember this. Every conversation is practice. Every mistake teaches you something. And every time you speak English, your confidence grows.
Let's give everyone another speaking challenge.
Great idea. Repeat these natural restaurant expressions after us.
I'd like a bowl of soup, please.
Could I have some more water, please?
What do you recommend?
Could I have it without onions, please?
Could we get the bill, please?
Fantastic! If you can say these 5 sentences comfortably, you're already prepared for many real restaurant situations.
I'm surprised by how much we've learned using simple conversations.
That's the beauty of learning through context. Instead of memorizing long vocabulary lists, you're learning English the way it's actually used.
And it feels much easier to remember.
Exactly.
Stay with us. It's time to put everything into one realistic conversation and see how naturally it all fits together.
Welcome back. We've reached one of my favorite parts of today's episode.
Mine too. We've learned lots of useful expressions, and now it's time to put everything together.
Exactly. Imagine you and I have just walked into a beautiful restaurant on a Saturday evening.
I'm already hungry.
Me too. Let's begin our conversation. This restaurant looks really nice. I love the atmosphere.
Me too. It's warm, quiet, and it smells amazing.
Here's the menu. Take your time.
Amazing. Thanks. There are so many choices. Everything looks delicious.
Have you decided what you'd like?
Not yet. I'm still looking.
That's okay. There's no need to rush.
I'm thinking about the grilled chicken, but the pasta also looks good.
If you're not sure, what could you ask?
I remember. What do you recommend?
Excellent. And if you're curious about one of the dishes?
I'd ask, what's in this? Or what ingredients does it have?
Perfect.
Let's imagine someone says the grilled chicken is one of the most popular dishes.
What would you say?
That sounds delicious. I'd like to try that.
Wonderful.
I'd also like something to drink.
What would you choose?
I'd like a glass of iced tea, please.
Nice choice. I'm going to have sparkling water.
Good idea.
Wait a minute. I just noticed this dish contains mushrooms. I'm not a big fan of mushrooms. What should I say?
That's easy now. Could I have it without mushrooms, please?
Exactly. And suppose you don't like spicy food.
I'd ask, is it spicy? If it is, I'd say, I'd like something that's not too spicy.
Excellent.
Our food has arrived. Wow, it looks fantastic.
It really does. Let's try it. This is delicious.
I totally agree. The chicken is so tender and the vegetables are perfectly cooked.
I think this might become one of my favorite restaurants.
Mine too.
My glass is empty. What should I say?
Could I have some more water, please?
Perfect. And I think I'd like another lemonade.
That's another easy one. Could I have another lemonade, please?
Excellent.
Oops, I dropped my fork.
That happens sometimes. What would you say?
Could I have another fork, please?
Perfect. See how useful could I have is?
Yes. I think I've used that expression at least 6 or 7 times today.
And that's exactly why you'll remember it.
We've finished our meal. I'm completely full.
Me too. Everything was excellent.
I think it's time to leave. How do we ask for the bill?
Could we get the bill, please?
Perfect. The bill is here. I'd like to pay by card.
That's fine. Actually, this meal is on me.
Really? That's so kind of you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Maybe next time you can buy me a coffee.
It's a deal.
Before we leave, let's thank everyone politely.
Absolutely. Thank you. Everything was delicious. We really enjoyed our meal.
That's a wonderful way to end a restaurant visit.
You know something? If someone had asked me to have this conversation before today's lesson, I probably would have felt nervous.
And how do you feel now?
Much more confident. I realize that restaurant English isn't about using difficult words. It's about using a few polite expressions naturally.
Exactly. You've learned how to order food, ask questions, request changes, solve small problems, compliment your meal, ask for the bill, and pay confidently, all using simple English.
And the best part is that the same sentence patterns work in so many different situations.
That's the secret to becoming a confident English speaker. Don't try to memorize hundreds of sentences. Master a few useful patterns and use them often.
I think our listeners are going to feel much more prepared the next time they visit a restaurant.
I hope so too. In our final learning block, we'll review everything we've learned today, reinforce the most useful expressions one last time, give you a confidence-building speaking practice, and wrap up the episode with some final encouragement.
Stay with us for the grand finale. You're just one step away from completing today's restaurant English journey.
Welcome to the final part of today's episode. We've had a wonderful journey together, and I'm so proud of how much you've learned.
Me too. When we started, ordering food in English felt a little intimidating. Now it feels much more manageable.
That's exactly what we hoped for. Confidence doesn't come from knowing every English word. It comes from knowing the right expressions and using them naturally.
Before we finish, let's do one final review of the expressions we've practiced today.
Great idea. Listen first, then repeat aloud after us.
Ready?
I'd like a cheeseburger, please.
What do you recommend?
What's in this?
Is it spicy?
I'd like something that's not too spicy.
Could I have it without onions, please?
Could I have some more water, please?
Could I have another fork, please?
Could we get the bill, please?
I'd like to pay by card.
Thank you. Everything was delicious.
Please. Fantastic! If you repeated those sentences aloud, you've just completed an excellent speaking practice session.
Now, let's imagine one final situation. You've walked into your favorite restaurant. You're confident, relaxed, and ready to speak English. What would you say first?
Maybe you said, "I'd like a table for two, please." Or perhaps, "I'd like to see the menu, please." Both are natural and polite.
Then you look at the menu. You're unsure about one dish. What could you ask?
"What do you recommend?" Or "What's in this?" Excellent.
Later, you order your meal confidently. You enjoy your food. You ask politely for another drink. You request the bill. You thank everyone before you leave. Notice something?
Every part of the conversation feels connected. We're simply using a few useful sentence patterns again and again.
Exactly. That's how real conversations work. People don't memorize hundreds of different sentences. They reuse familiar expressions naturally in different situations.
I think that's one of the biggest lessons from today's episode.
I agree. If you remember just a few expressions, like "I'd like," "Could I have," "What do you recommend?" and "Could we get the bill, please?" you'll already be able to handle many restaurant conversations with confidence.
And every time you practice, those expressions will become even more natural.
Exactly. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Every English conversation is an opportunity to improve. Most people appreciate your effort, and they're usually happy to help if you need a moment to find the right words.
That's encouraging because many learners worry about speaking perfectly.
Remember this: progress is more important than perfection. Speak clearly. Be polite. Keep practicing. Your confidence will grow one conversation at a time.
Before we say goodbye, here's today's challenge for everyone listening. The next time you visit a restaurant, or even when you're at home, pretend you're ordering in English. Say your order aloud. Ask for a drink. Request the bill. Practice the entire conversation by yourself. It only takes a few minutes, and it's a great way to build confidence.
That's an excellent challenge. The more you practice in a relaxed environment, the easier it will feel in a real restaurant.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed learning through conversation and that you feel ready to use these expressions in real life.
If today's lesson helped you, listen to it again in a few days. Repetition is one of the best ways to improve your listening, speaking, and confidence.
Keep speaking, keep listening, keep believing in yourself. You're making progress with every episode.
Thank you for spending your time with us today. We had a wonderful time practicing English together.
Take care, keep learning, and we'll see you in our next English conversation.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, and have a wonderful day.